guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have free things in the UK that cost money in the US. And I know healthcare gonna be on there somewhere. I don't know where, but I know healthcare coming in. But let's see what else we got. If you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash subscribe, give a bit of thumbs up. Also, if you like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit the join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Let's get right to it.
Hey everyone, if you're new here, I'm Brittany from She Run the World and I'm an American living in the UK. Today I'm talking about one of the best things about life across the pond, stuff that's free in the UK but costs money in the US. And I'm not just talking about a few discounts here or there, I'm talking about major life essentials that cost thousands in the US but are totally free or practically free in Britain. Some of these genuinely shocked me when I moved here, so let's dive in. Let's start off with probably the biggest and most controversial one, healthcare. Now, let me start by saying something that I'm going to say in a few different points in this video. I hope everybody knows that when things are advertised as completely free, that's not necessarily true. Yeah. Nothing is ever 100% free in life. The National Health Service, or NHS, is covered by your NI tax here in the UK, which is honestly crazy expensive. I personally have a pretty low salary, especially by American standards, and my NI tax is £200 a month. So please keep this in mind before I continue on with this point. So no.
Yeah, that's different. That's different, but even at 200 a month, I mean, when you think about like going to the NHS for like a major surgery or something that would absolutely bankrupt you in the US, you got the NHS. So even at 200 a month, bro, knowing that if something major happened, like you're covered, that's a good feeling.
It's not completely free. You are paying for it to a certain extent, but what is free, if you want to call it that, or I guess what's included in that tax, is literally everything. Doctor visits, emergency care, hospital stays, surgeries, maternity care, ambulance rides, and pretty much everything in between. They're all free at point of use.
Does this include vision and dental? That's a question I wonder. Does it include vision and dental, or are those separate?
Meaning no surprise bills, no hidden fees, no need to argue with an insurance company over what's covered versus what's not. So think of your NI tax as you paying your monthly insurance payment in the States, but then after that you never have to pay for anything again, because for those of you who don't know, you pay a monthly cost just to have health insurance in the States, and then on top of that you always typically have to pay a copay every time you go to a doctor's appointment or trip to the hospital, something like that. Plus you'll get additional bills based on what you had done. So if you had a baby, if you had surgery, you got x-rays, whatever it may be, you typically have to pay a certain amount and meet your deductible before the insurance even kicks in and starts to cover costs. And then even then it's not usually fully covered depending on your insurance. So when you take all of that in mind, it is really nice to just pay that monthly NI tax here in the UK and then know that you'll never have to pay for anything medically related again. Like me, for example, I just had a baby and I didn't pay anything extra compared to if I didn't have a baby. It's just the same monthly tax, no additional bills. I mean, don't get me wrong, the NHS is far from perfect. Sometimes the quality of service is pretty bad and wait times can be an issue, definitely, if you're trying to get something done ASAP. But the security of knowing a health emergency won't bankrupt you really is a relief, and I didn't really appreciate that until I moved here. This next point kind of goes...
I would say just that security would be worth it. Just, I'm not worried about like a lot of things because now I can go to the doctor and get this solved without breaking the bank. So that security would be everything. Yeah, I got healthcare lady by like through the state, and so I don't pay much at all because I qualified for a discount, and so. But I mean, when I can only go to certain people, they got to be in network, and then I think like she said, the wait times. I guess like the NHS, the wait times are like ridiculous. Because I had to was getting diagnosed for ADHD, and like I still don't have a schedule. I through them through the insurance, I wouldn't be able to see the doctor until October 3rd, and they can't even like fully diagnose you in that visit. So I have no idea what the next one would be. Whereas I went off the insurance and literally I saw a doctor and got diagnosed in like a week, and so it's just, but I had to pay that out of pocket. So It's just ridiculous.
Hand in hand with that first point of the NHS, prescriptions. These are a huge expense in the US, even with health insurance, like I kind of mentioned. Unless you have amazing insurance, you typically
Hmm.
always have to pay expensive copays or
And yeah, that's just like my experience. Like, if you got really good health insurance, yeah, you ain't gonna have to experience the wait times and all of that, like I did, right? Because you can go to so many different types of places because your insurance covers so much, but that's gonna cost you a lot monthly. But yeah, without that good insurance, you stuck with this only certain places, and you do got to experience those terrible wait times.
have to deal with insurance denials or just straight up inflated prices for those brand name medications. Some people even have to skip a dose or delay refills because of the cost, which
Mm-hmm.
honestly is just so sad when you're dealing with a chronic condition where you really need these meds. But in the UK, the system is really simple and accessible. If you live in Wales, Scotland, or Northern Ireland, prescriptions are totally free. In England, there's a flat fee per item of £9.90 as of 2025, no matter what the medication is that you
Oh
need.
wow!
So that's right, whether it's a basic antibiotic or something more specialized, you won't
Huh.
pay more than $9.90. And if you need
That's
multiple
not bad.
prescriptions, you can purchase a prepayment certificate that reduces costs even further. This structure makes sure
Not
that
bad at
no one has to
all.
choose between their health
Yeah,
and their wallet. So that
I
peace
like
of
that.
mind of knowing that your medication is always going to be affordable is pretty
Yeah.
priceless. Next, we have
You know
another
what? 10 pounds every time, like that's not a problem. Like 10 pounds, yeah. And that way, everybody gets access to the healthcare, and everybody gets these prescriptions for 10 pounds. And so that system, I absolutely love it.
Another big cost, university tuition. In the US, even public universities can cost tens of thousands of
Yeah,
dollars per year, and private ones
free
are
in the
insane.
UK.
Trust me, I should know. I think the tuition for my private school was about $65,000 a year. That's without housing or food, like just straight up tuition. So a 4-year degree in the States can easily leave you with, $100,000 or even way more in student loans.
Yeah,
But in Scotland, if you're Scottish, your university tuition is completely free at public institutions. It's part
that's
of a long-standing commitment to
crazy.
accessible education.
That's so
But again,
awesome.
take this with a grain of salt. It's not just 100%
Yeah,
free. It has to
taxes.
be paid somehow, right? So tuition is paid for through taxes. So basically, everyone in Scotland
Yeah,
is paying for your tuition essentially rather than you just paying for it out of your own pocket like we do in the States. But obviously, in general, the total tuition cost is significantly lower than what it would be in the US
yeah,
anyways. Like in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, for example, the other counterparts of the UK, for those of you who don't know, university isn't free, but it's
mhm.
still significantly more affordable than in the US. The
I get that.
maximum tuition fee in England is currently £9,250 per year, and student loans don't have to be
Really?
repaid until you're earning over a certain threshold. Plus, after 30 to 40 years, the remaining debt is usually just written off completely. So, compared to American interest
Dang.
rates and aggressive repayment schedules, the UK system offers students a much less stressful financial future. Sticking with the
Them interest rates be absolutely freaking insane, bro. I'm telling you, dog, them interest rates be bonkers. Absolutely freaking bonkers. But that's why you gotta learn how to make the interest rates work for you when you're saving money, right? Learn where to put that money so it's making more money. Because they put an interest rate against you on them debts you gotta pay. But I think that's awesome for the Scottish students to get college free. Well, yeah, I guess everybody's taxed for it, but I'd love to hear how the people of Scotland, like if anybody from Scotland is watching this video, I'd love to hear how you feel about this because I know in the U.S., like people was causing an uproar when the idea of forgiving student loan taxes were thrown out there. The idea of it, there was an absolute uproar. So, or even say a certain percentage of it. So, I'm intrigued to see how you guys feel. I'm all for like paying taxes so kids can have that access to education. So that access to education is just restricted for people who can afford it, right? But also to people who can. Like everybody should have this access. Everybody should be able to better themselves. They should at least have the option. If they choose to take it or not, they should. And I'm not saying college makes you a better person, but I think the option of college is an absolutely amazing thing because college isn't for everybody. but to have that option to be able to make that choice yourself and not because of certain circumstances or certain conditions, to be able to make that choice, whether you like to go in a trade, go to college, just do something else, do whatever with your life. You should have that choice.
Finance theme, let's talk about bank accounts. I know this doesn't apply to all bank accounts, but a lot of times in the US, opening up a basic checking account can come with monthly maintenance fees, minimum balance requirements,
Mm-hmm.
overdraft charges, which are
Mm-hmm.
the worst, and even ATM usage fees if you do stray from your bank's network. These hidden costs really add up over time, especially if you're not
Yeah.
keeping a close eye on your balance. But in the UK, most standard current accounts are completely free to open and use. There are
Yeah.
no monthly maintenance fees or minimum balance requirements, and you usually don't get penalized for accessing your own money through any ATM. Many accounts
Oh.
offer contactless debit cards, mobile banking apps, and some even come with perks like cashback or travel insurance. This
Yeah.
approach to banking feels much more customer friendly, and honestly, it was one of the first things that made me feel like I was truly settling in. It
Yeah.
blew my mind that you could just go to any ATM anywhere and just get cash out and
Yeah.
there's going to be no fee.
Yeah.
Super crazy. The next one is
I would say
museums.
I get all of those things except for the not being able to use ATM. Like, I get a free checking account for my savings. They tried to make me pay a monthly maintenance fee, but I just put it into like an IRA account, uh, and or a money market fund, help it build itself. So that way, it's growing, and I'm not even being charged for it, which is so much better. But yeah, I get to be able to use ATM, any ATM anywhere is a great advantage, bro. Because having to go to a specific ATM and not have to pay those extra charges is dope. Those overdraft charges do suck, but I did learn from a friend. If you call them, if you hurry up and get money in there to replace it, and you call them and be like, "Hey, I'm so sorry, won't happen again," they'll take away the fee. But that's if you want to waste your time to call them. So that's up to you. But that's freaking that's dope. She's like all banks in the UK are like this, I guess.
This one still makes me
Cool.
smile because in the US, visiting a
Museums.
major museum could easily cost you $20 to $40 per person, sometimes even more if there's a special exhibition going on. That means that a little afternoon outing just to go to a museum can quickly turn into an expensive activity. But in the UK, nearly all of the country's top museums are completely free. We're talking about the British Museum, Natural History Museum, Tate Modern, National Gallery, Victoria and Albert, and just so much more. These world-class institutions are open to the public without a ticket fee, making art, science, and history accessible to everyone. Of course, donations are welcome and appreciated, but there's no
100%.
pressure or paywall kind of stopping you at the door from
Yeah.
entering. So whether you're a local looking for a weekend activity or a tourist hoping to soak in all the culture without breaking the bank, UK museums deliver big time and they do it for free, which is amazing. The next one is
Yeah.
national
I
parks.
love that because me and my wife are always looking for stuff to do that's really cheap or that's free. Just stuff we and I feel like a museum would be awesome to just kind of go in, walk around, get to see everything. It at no charge. Like that'd be awesome.
And nature access. Now this one I love because I'm a huge outdoorsy person. I love hiking, I love camping, I love visiting national parks. And in the US, visiting national parks always involves an entrance fee, sometimes even parking passes and reservation
Yeah.
systems. I totally understand that these fees help the maintenance of the park, but they can also create barriers for families and individuals who just want to spend more time in nature but can't really afford it. But in the
Agree.
UK, it works very differently. All national parks are free to enter, and the UK has this beautiful principle known as the right to roam. That basically just means that people can legally walk across certain private lands, including moors, hills, and farmland, as long as they respect the space and follow local guidelines.
There
Public
you go.
footpaths are clearly marked and incredibly well maintained, encouraging people to explore the countryside. You don't need a car or a permit, just a pair of boots and a bit of curiosity. This open access approach makes
That's
nature
pretty
feel
cool.
like it's a shared treasure rather than a luxury. It invites everyone to enjoy the outdoors without the price tag or the red tape. Here's an amazing one for
I
expecting
would say that's pretty awesome. Now, I'm not a big outdoors person when it comes to like camping, hiking, all of that. I'm not like when I think of outdoors, I think I'm going outside and I'm gonna play basketball, I'm gonna play football, some kind of sport. I'm finna play a sport. Like I'll go outdoors, have a blast playing a sport, going to a pool, and I think, but like hiking and camping, nah. I can't offer too much on that one because that's just not something that I personally like or enjoy. But there are a lot of Americans, like she said, who are unable to do it because of prices. She is right. It be costing that to get in. You gotta pay for parking. You gotta. I mean, really, and I think the rest of the world understands it. And as Americans, we very quickly come to understand that the country is literally just like money over everything. Like it's a machine that puts money. Money is a priority above everything else. And so when you start to understand that, you start to understand America.
Parents, if you're pregnant or have had a baby in the last year, you get free dental care and free prescriptions on the NHS. Yep, completely free. That includes everything from routine checkups to fillings and other
That's so
necessary
awesome.
treatments, plus any medications you may need during your pregnancy or postpartum recovery. You simply apply for a maternity exemption certificate and it covers you for your entire pregnancy plus 12 months after your baby is born. In the US, even decent insurance, maternity related costs can pile up
Yeah,
really fast, especially dental that comes with high copays. Surprise, surprise. The UK's approach makes sure that you're not just delaying your care because you're worried about money, because of course you should be always taking care of yourself no matter what, but
agreed.
even more so when you're pregnant and you have another life to
Agreed.
think about. It might sound like a small thing, but for new parents or,
Yeah,
pregnant women who are already going through such a stressful time, it really is a huge relief and one less bill that you have to worry about. To
yeah.
continue with the theme
And
of
I
family,
think on that one, we do have social programs, like programs for people who qualify, for people who don't make as much, that will like give you insurance for the mother and the baby. So the visits to the doctor are covered to make sure everything's progressing. Any medicine or anything they want them to take is covered. The baby, the birth is like we didn't pay out of pocket for anything throughout her pregnancy for like those visits for well, we paid out of pocket for extra ultrasounds because she just had to see him as much as humanly possible. So we did pay for that. But yeah, for those doctor visits and birth, we didn't pay anything. But that's only for the people who qualify. Like you don't make enough to afford to be able to pay for that. There's a lot of people that got to pay out of pocket, and I can't even begin to imagine.
support, let's talk about childcare hours and benefits. Childcare is one of the most expensive costs for families in the US. Like, a lot of times it's so expensive that people have to decide whether one parent should stay home because that second salary is barely covering the childcare costs. So,
Hmm.
kind of what's the point?
Yeah,
But in the UK, the government provides structured, accessible support to help ease
that's so
that
awesome.
burden. Many families with 3 or 4 year olds are eligible for up to 30 hours of free childcare per week during term time. Some 2 year olds even qualify. It just depends on your household income and some specific criteria. That's not just a few hours off, that's a real chunk of support that can allow parents to work, study, or honestly, just catch your breath.
Yeah,
Relax a little bit. And on top of that, most families can claim child benefit, a monthly payment per child that helps with everyday expenses. It's honestly not massive, it's only £25 a week, but every
okay.
little bit counts. They
Yeah,
literally just direct deposit that into your account every
I
month.
know.
And on top of all of that, many local boroughs offer free child health clinics. These are drop in sessions where parents can have their baby weighed, ask questions to a health visitor, or attend parenting workshops. Classes like infant CPR, baby led weaning, and labor and delivery prep are some of the pretty common ones across boroughs. And of course, all of these classes are free. There are also feeding and sleep specialists available with anyone who wants to meet with them for breastfeeding help or infant sleep help. This kind of hands on community based support goes
Yeah.
far beyond what most American families have access to,
Yeah.
and it's all free. Again, that's covered in your
Yeah.
council tax for the borough that you live in. But again, you're going to be paying that council tax regardless whether you're using any of these services or not. So when you use them, you're not paying anything out of your pocket, and it's a nice
Yeah.
perk. One of the most heart
Only free childcare I've heard of personally is grandparents. That's the only free childcare I know of. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, that's it. But to get 30 hours a week, genuinely would be life changing. Like, but yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, of course, I wanted my wife to be able to stay at home and raise my son. Like, I wanted that for her. She wanted to be a stay at home mom, and so we both wanted that in general, but at the same time, we also understand that, like, yeah, I mean, it only makes sense because even if she did work and we had to put our son in childcare, then it's going to eat up her check. So why do that? And she doesn't get to spend that time with him. Then rather, and she wants to spend that time. If she wanted to work, that'd be fine, and that's just what we do. But she wants to spend that time with him, even though he'd be driving her insane. He drive me up a wall too, but she got to be with him more than I do. So, but like that time with him is everything. So, she's right though. Like there are parents who can't afford for a parent to take off work and can't afford for the child care, or single parent household who you can't afford that child care and pay all the bills and everything. And we do have a lot of government programs in place to help in situations. Um, so if you're able to apply and qualify, it's good. But if you don't qualify and you're still struggling, like then that does suck.
Warming benefits I discovered is the UK's free bus pass for seniors. Once you reach a retirement age, so 60 in some places, 66 in others, you can apply for a bus pass that gives you unlimited local
That's
travel.
awesome.
In
That's
London, it's known
awesome.
as the Freedom Pass, and similar programs exist all over the UK. This means older adults can get around for free, whether they're heading to the shops, visiting family, or just going out for a walk in the park. In the US, senior discounts might give you, 10, 20% off a ticket, but full-on free transit is almost unheard of.
Right.
Not that many people even take public transportation to begin with in the States, but still, this benefit promotes independence, reduces isolation, and helps seniors stay active in their community, which I just love so much. I think it's so sweet. So there you have it, some of the amazing things that are free in the UK but would cost a fortune in the US. Again, like I said in the beginning of the video, nothing in life is ever 100% free. Most of these things are paid for by British taxes, but
Mhm.
moving here has definitely opened my eyes to how different countries handle healthcare, education, and even the simple joy of going out into nature. So let me know in the comments, what free thing in the UK would you love to see adopted in your country? I can't wait to read your choice. Now let's take a look at 10 free things you can do in London so you can enjoy your time in this magical city without breaking the bank.
That's so freaking awesome. I absolutely love that. All those free things in the UK that you get to that we don't have in the US. I love that those seniors get to get around for free, right? You worked hard for so long in your life and helping pay your taxes. You deserve, once you reach retirement age, yeah, you deserve to move around for free. You deserve discounts. You deserve, yeah, you done gave to society so much, you deserve it. Tell me what y'all think about this video, though. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, check out the next, and I'll see y'all next.